as well, and this I'm finding a rather miraculous experience. I like people. I love science fiction. I was brought up as a child on Journey into Space and The War of the Worlds, all those, and the planet, the Man from Planet X, and Angry Red Planet. I adore, and I think one of the finest films ever made, I often mention this to Ken Branagh, is The Thing, the original Thing. Black and white, and I think, oh, bloody hell's that? I thought it was one of those dwarfs in Flash Gordon. but I just think the black and white version of The Thing, if you've never seen it, by Howard Hawks, is 87 minutes long. The speed and the camera work, it inspired Carpenter for all his films, and it's brilliant. What I think is lovely in that film is that The Thing is played by James Arness, who was the he was the sheriff in Gunsmoke. But I love science fiction, but I'm shocked at all this, because I didn't expect you all to be here. I mean, it's miraculous. At Pontins in North Wales. I mean, God knows what's going to be going on these last 2 days. I mean, what is so lovely, you made this so welcome. You're all so nice, and you're all Peter Pans. You'll never grow up, and I think that's the most important thing in life. Say to me, you know, Brian, you know, because 50% of my life these days is, half of it is acting, and 50% exploration. And of course, I've been to Everest 3 times, and the North and South Poles, the oldest man to get there, and I'm 75. I've just finished getting to the North Pole again, and I have just finished I do about 10 miles running a day and bench press up to 350 pounds. And I'm getting sick of this bloody old bollocks. Because it's not how old you are, it's how you are old. I think 40 is very young. I think middle age is between 55 and 65. But it's not how old you are, you know, it's how you are old. Go for it. I always say, you know, I said, Brian, isn't it dangerous going to Mount Everest? Isn't it dangerous going to Aconcagua? Isn't it dangerous going to all those mountains of Mongolia, etc.? I say to them, and it's in your faces, that the greatest danger in life is not taking the adventure. You gotta go. You gotta go. You're gonna say something. Shut your face. I'm sick of being interrupted. I must say, you know, I did the Tarzan film 3 or 4 years ago, the animated Tarzan film, and I'm Clayton in it, the villain. And I was on it for about 2 years, and Disney was there, and all of them. And finally we finished the film, and I'm leaving. And the guy who plays the villain in Ghost, the film, was the voice of Tarzan. He has that strange voice. Oh, a rather strange voice, which is rather good for Tarzan, rather innocent. And he's the man who's the villain in Ghost. Anyway, I was leaving, they said, well done, Brian, said Disney. Brian, you've done a great job. The car's outside, you're going to the airport. And then I heard the Tarzan doing the yodel. And he was going, and he couldn't do the bloody yodel. And the Americans were very worried. I said, well, look. I said, when I was a kid, we went to the Johnny Weissmuller films. And we all did the yodel as little boys. No, Brian, this is going to be a real problem for us. I said, no. a bloody contract for the yodel. I mean, it's absolutely bloody marvellous, you know. I'm going to let you talk in a second. Ken, I don't see many actors because I tend to be with explorers a lot. And next week, I'm going to be with Walking with the Wounded at BAFTA, and I've been narrating a film about them. And I'm going to lead their expedition to Everest this spring. I'm not going with them because it's their expedition, but I'm narrating it, advising it, and being their unofficial leader with Prince Harry. These are the guys with no legs and no arms who went to the North Pole. Wonderful guys. And so I'm going to give them a lecture about the south side of Everest and how to get up it. So, adventure. 50% of my life has become adventure. And the only actor I really meet, my oldest friend is Patrick Stewart, General Picard, Star Trek. But as I said to him a short while ago, you know, or when he met me in New York when there was a premiere and he embraced me. He always cries, Patrick, when he sees me. I've known him since he was 9 years of age, now he's 11. You know, he's going bald then. I said, you're blind, you're going to die. You're going to these mountains, you're going to die. No, I'm not your daft son. He and I are going to do a show together, two Yorkshire boys, with Sonny Lumiere and lights and lots of his space stuff and a lot of my space stuff and all that. We're going to do a big show together. So, anyway, I've always known Patrick. We're terribly close, beyond brothers. And, but the actor, I don't meet many, and it's Ken Branagh. I've done 5 of his films with him. I've known him for 25 years. We have a father-son relationship, and I'm the son. And he said to me, you know, you're not scared of anything. Well, he said, should I do this film? Should I direct 4? Should I do this? What are you bloody talking about? I'm going to the bloody South Pole. I'm going to solo it. What are you doing? Bollocks. Get on with it. So, you're not scared of anything. And of course, there was a day. Suddenly, I'll never forget, stars in their eyes, said Brian, would I, for charity, for about £1,000 for charity, do Pavarotti? Christ almighty, no. So Branagh said, scared, are you? I said, look, I said, no. When I was in Cats, the musical, because there's no end to my talent, I've done so many things. These are things that Patrick Stewart couldn't remotely bloody do, by the way. He can't sing and dance like me. I was a marvellous cat. Like shit. But anyway, so therefore, I said, no. When I was in Cats, that Carreras and Di Stefano and all the other tenors said, we call Pavarotti Maestro. I said, do you? And Domingo said, yes, we call him Maestro. Why? Because his voice is the best. It is superior. I have a lot of fruit in my voice, Brian. Carreras is the same. But he's his clarity and brilliance. I said, he's acknowledged as the greatest singer of all time. That's why I turned it down. I can't do him honor. They offered it 5 more times, and I accepted. And so I got a lot of money for Born Free Foundation and for the RSPCA and things like animals and all this, that and the other. And when I came through the mist as Pavarotti, you could see the audience, like your good selves, cheered and cheered and cheered, and looked at me cheering. And you could think, by God, the makeup was sensational. I looked up on a screen, and there was this big screen. I thought, it's Pavarotti, is here. And then I moved, and it moved. And I realized it was me. I thought, God, I looked so wonderful. And the audience cheered, and then they died. And they looked at me, And they thought, well, he looks like him. They'll never sound like him. I haven't got a piano, so I may miss it totally. But the shock in their faces. Strada frontier fi, o sole mio, strada frontier fi.